Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and I hope you guys are all having a great holiday break. Now, if you've been paying any attention to the NHL this year, you'll know that the Rangers are in free fall. As I record this, they sit at a 16-16-1 record, are 5 points out of a playoff spot, and have already traded two key players, their captain Trouba and their former second overall pick Capo Caco, and along with a lot of other rumored moves, such as Chris Kreider maybe on the move, Zibanejad, stuff like that. Looking at the roster on paper, it's actually a pretty good squad. I'll show you the lines really quick. They've got lots of good veterans. They got Panarin, Zibanejad, Trocheck, pretty decent forward group. They got an elite defenseman, Fox. They got one of the best goalies, Shesterkin, but clearly it's just not working out. It's not the same team that won the President's Trophy last year. And because of this, in this universe, Chris Drury has been fired, and we are tasked with managing the New York Rangers and what's left of them. So the goal of this video is to build a long-lasting cup contender by any means necessary, and we're going to make sure it's done right by completely tearing down the team, selling off everyone. All the veterans are going to be gone. Panarin, you're gone. Zibanejad, Trocheck, Kreider, Smith, Trouba, who hasn't been traded in this universe, Lindgren, you're all gone. Everyone is gone. We're starting from scratch with all our young pieces, and we are turning this into a cup contender no matter what it takes. We got no loyalties. We're getting this done by any means necessary. We look at our trade values. We really don't have much outside of our veterans. One player I would consider keeping is Adam Fox, because getting that right-handed elite defenseman is so hard, and he's only 26. It's not like he's a veteran. He's not hurting the team in any way. But on the other hand, this is the last year before his no-move clause kicks in. But I think we are going to keep him for sure. Panarin, on the other hand, he's 32. He has second highest value on the team. We're going to ask for a trade for him. See if he wants one team, and he will accept to one team trade list. So what we will be trading Artemi Panarin to the Anaheim Ducks. All right, so we'll see what happens there. We're going to keep Lafreniere. He's only 22, can be a leader on this team for a long time. Vincent Trocheck, on the other hand, he'll also waive to one team. So we will be trading Vincent Trocheck to the Anaheim Ducks as well. Wow, we might be making a huge package here. Another one is Chris Kreider. He already has a modified no-trade clause, so he can be traded to 17 teams, so we'll make a deal with him. Same with Riley Smith, who can be traded to 24 teams. And we'll throw in all the other veterans in those deals, but let's make a package with the Anaheim Ducks here. They have the cap space to get it done, but we definitely want some young stars in return. Maybe a deal like Mintyukov and Zegras. We'd be getting first-line center in Zegras who can, play with Lafreniere. Be getting a top pair defenseman to play with Adam Fox. If we threw in Lindgren, Smith, and Condré Miller as well, and no. I really want to get these two players. I'd be willing to part with Philip Hedl as well. Does this deal go through? And it does. So Pavel Mintyukov and Trevor Zegras, welcome to the New York Rangers. A massive deal there. I forgot we also need to trade Mika Zibanejad, and he also accepts. So we will be trading Mika Zibanejad to the Boston Bruins. All right, that actually makes a lot of sense. Bruins don't have too much I would be interested in. I'd like to bring back a few prospects, so like guys like Lysell, a few young NHLers, first-round pick, peak for the cap space, and then for Zibanejad and Lindgren. And will this go through if we add Will Cooley as well? And it will. So there's our deal with the Bruins. Chris Kreider, like I said, can be traded to 17 teams, so we'll make a deal happen with one of these guys. And I have a huge proposal for the Kings here, sending Shesterkin and Kreider over for Byfield and Brandt Clark. Two young players. Byfield, he's just 22, medium elite potential power forward. Brandt Clark, he's just 21, medium elite offensive defenseman. Do they say yes to this? And they do. So there is all the veterans gone, except for Adam Fox, of course. What a series of trades that was. And finally, I sent Trouba and a few spare parts over to the Canadiens for Joshua Waugh. So there is all the trades. I'm going to show you the lines now. Here's how the forward lines are looking. As you can see, they're pretty bad. Lots of youth in the top 6, but honestly, I would not be surprised if we put up like 2 goals per game. On the defense, it actually doesn't look too bad because of Adam Fox, and yeah, there's definitely still some growth to be had, but this team's just bad. In net, we have Quick and Dominique. We'll acquire a young goalie soon, but other than that, yeah, let's just sim this season and try and get a high draft pick. Alright, so that season actually went a lot better than I expected. We finished with a 37, 35, and 10 record, good for 6th in the Metro. Not missing out on a playoff spot by that much. But we still finished 25th in the NHL with a goals per game of 2.84, which is definitely near the bottom. Goals against a 3.18, which is near the bottom of the league. Power play of 16.5, which is middle of the pack, and a penalty kill of 83.5, which is again middle of the pack. So I'm actually pretty impressed by that season as a team. Individual performances, Zegras and Fox tied for the team lead with 69 points. Lafreniere, Byfield, Kako, Poitras put up a really good season. Lysell, Waugh, lots of the new guys we brought in. Down the list, everyone did pretty decent, honestly. I'm very impressed. In goal, Jonathan Quick actually proved to be a pretty decent starter, putting up a 911 save percentage at 39 years old. And looking through the progress report, we actually saw a lot of growth for some of our key players, like Byfield, Kako, Zegras. Yeah, very impressed with this lineup here. In the minors, we don't have too many prospects right now, but that's what we're acquiring all the draft picks for. Still some good seasons from guys like Berard, guys like Sakura. So yeah, I'm very excited for the future of this team. And the playoffs are complete. The Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup. And for the draft lottery, and we move back to 9th overall. That's still a decent pick. Heading into the draft, the first overall pick is on the block from the Dallas Stars. Other than that, Nashville ahead of us, Islanders a few picks behind us, but yeah, so at our 9th overall pick, we'll probably be looking at a medium elite player. Hopefully we land Pardo Martone. I might trade up a little bit just to ensure we get one of those medium elite players. And I just traded a 7th to move up 1 pick to the Nashville pick. I guess I did not think that was going to go through, but anyways, we sim to our pick, and Michael Misa just went, which means we should be able to land Porter Martone. So welcome to the organization. He's a 76 overall, so we'll leave him in juniors 1 more year. He had a really good season with Mississauga, decent power forward, good stats, future top 6 guy. Rest of the top of the draft looks like this, just if you're curious. Did a bit of wheeling and dealing. We ended up with the 12th overall pick, and with this pick, we're actually going to take Matthew Schaefer because for some reason he's fallen to 14th overall, but I'm pretty sure he's a medium elite player, and he is 76 overall. So we pick up 2 more medium elites, solid 2-way defender, hopefully a good second pair guy in the future. In round 3, we also picked up our goalie of the future in Ivankovic, who's already a 63 overall, and a low elite player in the 5th round. I managed to re-sign guys like Lowray, Capocacco, Jonathan Quick to good deals, but Alexi Lafreniere is the big one here. He's dead set on a 5-year deal, and I'm just not sure I want to do that. I'd like to go 8 years, but he'd be demanding big money. So I think we are going to give him his ask of 5 years, and we do re-sign him on a 5-year, $8.35 million deal. Here are the awards. If you're wondering, the Hurricanes won the Cup. President's Trophy went to the Oilers. The Colorado and Carolina were in the finals. McDavid won the Art Ross and the Hart Trophy. James Norris went to Makar. Draisaitl won the Lady Byng. Celebrini won the Calder. Brent Burns won the Conn Smythe. Vezina went to Skinner and the Jennings. Bill Masterton went to Pellick. Keeler won the Jack Adams. Crosby won the Selke. And the Ted Lindsay went to McDavid, while the Maurice Richard went to McKinnon. For free agency, I think I'm going to go out and make a big deal because I know we're trying to build this team through the draft, but we do need that 1 more core piece to take us to the next level, and I think it might be Mitch Marner. He has a full organizational bar. He's wanting a 7-year deal. Offering him a 7-year deal worth $13.2 million. It's a lot of money, but he is a 93 overall, and he went to the Blackhawks. Super unfortunate. We do need to hit the cap floor, so I'm going to sign Kuzmenko to a 1-year, $8.8 million deal and hopefully trade him at the deadline. and he does accept that offer. So here's how the lines are looking at year 2 at the start of the rebuild. We have Kuzmenko playing on the top line, trying to inflate his overall a little bit, increase his trade value. Overall, you've definitely seen some increases in overall. It's still a pretty bad team, but lots of young players who will grow over the season. On defense, Mintyukov's up to an 86. Clark is also up to an 86, but the defense still looks pretty weak. In net, we have Jonathan Quick backed up by Calvin Pickard. And yeah, let's see how this team does. Also, for the captaincies, we're going to have Adam Fox as our captain and Lafreniere and Byfield as the assistants. And I just signed some extensions. Zegras accepts for 8 more years, so does Mintyukov, and so does Brandt Clark. 3 8-year extensions for some of our key players. We're also playing really well right now. We just went on an 8-game winning streak. Hopefully we come down to earth a little bit before the deadline, but making the playoffs in year 2 would not be a bad thing. Right, so we've fallen off a little bit, but we are at the deadline now with a winning record, and we're not out of reach of a playoff spot. Now, I'm going to go check on Kuzmenko and see if it's even worth trading him, because if he doesn't have very much value, we might as well keep him. Kuzmenko has 39 points in 61 games, and he doesn't have a ton of value, so I'll try trading him, but if it doesn't work out, that's no biggie. So we didn't end up trading Kuzmenko, and I think it was probably the right decision. We finished 7th in the division, 38, 39, and 5 records. That was good for 24th in the league. In goals per game, we finished at 2.98, which was definitely on the lower half of the league. In goals against, we finished at 3.23, which is again at the lower half of the league. Our power play at 15.4 was also in the bottom, and our penalty kill was dead last at 76.9. So I think we even overperformed a little bit. Adam Fox had an incredible season, 90 points from the now 95 overall. Huge season from him. Byfield put up 65 as well. The rest of the offense didn't really show up as we wanted them to, but it was expected. We don't have a very good team on paper, and I think we overperformed a little bit. You can see all the depth scoring there. In net, Jonathan Quick also put up a 908 save percentage, pretty decent actually. So yeah, Adam Fox definitely carried us this year. And the Montreal Canadiens end up winning the Stanley Cup. Surprising one there. And for the draft lottery, we move back to 10th overall. So we'll see what's going on there. Checking the awards really quick, the Canadiens ended up winning the Stanley Cup. President's Trophy went to the Wild, and it was the Oilers and the Cajuns in the final. David won the Art Ross and the Hart again. James Norris went to Evan Bouchard. We'll have to see what season he had. I'm surprised he beat up Fox, though. Kaprizov wins the Lady Byng. Will Smith, back-to-back Sharks Calder winners. Newhook wins the Conn Smythe. Interesting. Wallstead wins the Vezina and the Jennings. Adam Pelech wins back-to-back Bill Mastertons. Seattle coach wins the Jack Adams. Crosby wins back-to-back Selkies. McDavid wins back-to-back Ted Lindsays. And Bedard picks up the Maurice Richard this year. Also saw some really good progression over that year. Poitras, we acquired him at like a 79 overall. He's become a good player for us. Mintyukov's up to an 89. Fox up to a 95. Lots of great performances here. A little worried to see Zegras still an 86 overall because we just signed him to a big extension, but hopefully that figures itself out. Other than that, Kuzmenko ended up being kind of a disappointment, 47 points, so we'll probably let him go. In the system, Ivankovic had a really good year. He's up to a 70 overall, so hopefully he can make the NHL team soon enough. At the draft, the Kings will be picking Gavin McKenna at 1st overall. 6th overall is also on the block. 10th overall, it looks like we'll probably just miss out on a medium elite prospect. We'll see. Yeah, McKenna does go 1st overall. You can see the rest of the top 10 here. All medium elites up to this point. I'm hoping this guy here is also medium elite. We haven't scouted this guy because he's in the ice. This guy, Grachev, he looks to be 1 year away, so I'm hoping he's a medium elite. I'm going to draft him instead. Grachev is a medium top 6. That actually sucks. 73 overall, though. He'll still be a solid part of our future. And that other guy, he ended up being a 79 overall, medium top 6 as well, so we're not really missing out on too much. In the 2nd round, we pick up this Gem medium top 4 defensive defenseman. Hopefully he's a future guy for us. Also thought it was cool that the Capitals picked up Jacob Ovechkin here. He's a medium elite guy too, so he'll be a good player for them. In the 4th round, we picked up another medium top 4 defensive defenseman and a low elite guy in the 5th round. For the re-sign phase, there wasn't too much to do. We just re-signed guys like Poitras and Lysell and Waugh to short-term deals, and then released Kuzmenko. For free agency, I decided to bring on Matthew Joseph as a top 6 winger. Here's how the lines are looking going into year 3. We have Zegras and Byfield and Lafreniere all up there in overall. We have Porter Martone joining the team in a top 6 role. And the forward core, it still sucks. We still need a few more pieces, but I think this is going to be our last year of sucking. Our defense actually looks super solid. We have 3 superstar defensemen. We'll round out the bottom 3 here. In the net, we're still relying on Jonathan Quick at age 40. Hopefully, Mr. Ivankovic can make the NHL sooner rather than later, but I think this will be the last year of not being a very good team. Then next free agency, we're going to go all out and get a bunch of good players, start to contend truly. All right, so at the deadline, we've slowed down a little bit. We're sitting at just over 500 record, and I think I'm going to trade Matthew Joseph now. Sending Joseph, Lysell, and a few other pieces over to the Avalanche for their first-round pick, and it does go through. They are a contender right now, but don't have a very good record, so hopefully that'll be a high pick. And there's the season. We finished with a 35, 37, and 10 record, 6th in the Metro. Another very similar finish. I think we finished 25th, 24th, and 24th, but next year will be the year we take that big step. We only scored 2.83 goals per game, not very good at all. However, goals against wasn't that bad at 3.15, so middle of the pack about. Our power play was only 11.9%, definitely needed some work. Our penalty kill also was a little bit better, still not very good. Adam Fox led our team in scoring again. Zegras had a good year with 36 goals, but the offense was not very good at all, honestly. So I'm going to go out and acquire a few free agents next year and hopefully boost this team into contention. Quick scroll through the depth players here in net. Jonathan Quick, he had a 906 save percentage. He's been very good for us, but it's about time Ivankovic replaces him. I think he's almost ready. We did see lots of growth from a lot of our players. Guys like Martone will hopefully be in the 85 overall range next year. Our defense was still really good, and in the minors, yeah, you can see Ivankovic 78 overall. Schaefer should also make the team next year. He'll be a good top 4 defenseman for us, so I think next year is going to be the year we really start to contend. Season is over, and the Oilers end up winning the cup. And for the draft lottery, we stay at 9th overall, so I think I'll be trading up a little bit. I think our rebuild needs one more piece, and then we're ready to contend. So the Oilers won the Stanley Cup and the President's Trophy, and they played the Capitals in the final. Interesting. Individual awards, Draisaitl finally took the Art Ross from McDavid. He also won the Hart. Bouchard won 2 straight James Norris. Matthews wins the Lady Byng. Lekaramaki gets the Calder. Conn Smythe went to Draisaitl. Mark Schumann, the Devils, wins the Vezina and the Jennings. Darnay on the Flames wins the Bill Masterton, Washington coach. McDavid wins a Selke Trophy, and Draisaitl, Ted Lindsay, and Maurice Richard. Landon Dupont goes first overall to Vegas. He was the rest of the top 7. And we traded up to 7th overall with the Red Wings to select Jackson Jacobson here, 18 years old, already a 77 overall, so hopefully he can make the team. And yeah, good playmaker. Final piece for our rebuild, I think. We also have the 19th overall pick from the Avalanche trade, so over here in Calgary, I traded away the first pick for Brustevich and Honzek. Both of them got scratched last year, even though they're above 80 overall. So the second round, we picked up this low elite guy and a medium top 6, a medium top 4 defenseman in the 4th round, and then picked up back-to-back low elite defensemen in the 5th round. It was a super easy re-sign phase. We only had guys on 2-way contracts to re-sign, so now we're going to go out in free agency and get a big guy. Philip Hedl is available out here. He turned into an absolute stud with the Ducks. 81 points as last year, looking for a huge deal. Looking to go through with a deal here from Matthias Ekholm. 3 years is a little bit risky, but I do think this would be a good deal to sign. He's an 87 overall, just had a huge year with the Oilers. It was like a plus 50 or something, and 5.87 super cheap, so I'm going to offer him that. And he accepts right away, which is awesome. Genuinely excited about this team. I signed a few veteran bottom sixers, and I think we're ready to contend for the playoffs. Here's how the lines are looking at the start of year 4 of our rebuild. Top line looking the same, and the rest of the bottom 9 is obviously still lots of youth, but it's definitely significantly better in the past few years. We just need players like Martone and Poitras to grow into those high 80s overall and support the rest of the team. And yeah, I think the expectation is definitely to make the playoffs this year, especially with our excellent defense. Fox up to a 96, Mitchell up to a 92. A great top 4. We'll have Schaefer growing here on the bottom pair. He's also playing power play 2. And in net, we have Merzlikins, who I signed just for 1 year. And then Ivankovic can hopefully take over as the starter next year. And just 4 years after taking over the Rangers, completely tearing it down and building up a new core, we've made the playoffs. 101 points on the season, second in the Metro, in the entire league. That placed us 5th overall, super solid. So 3.49 goals per game, pretty good, up there in the upper echelon of the NHL. Goals against at 2.79, very low, which makes a lot of sense. Our defense is very good. 19.9% power play. We're in the middle of the pack, definitely could be better. And then our penalty kill was the best in the league at 87.3. So great success as a team on the season. Adam Fox led our team in points to 77, plus 17. He'll definitely be a Norris candidate again. Joshua Waugh next up. Great season for him. Byfield, 63 points as first-line center. Would love to see a little bit more from a lot of these guys. Brant Clark had a huge season. Capocaco down here. Lafreniere, I'd love to see more than that for him. 88 overall, 19 minutes on ice per night, and still just putting up 55 points. So, I don't know. Same with Zegras, first-line forward, only putting up 54 points in the season, but honestly, we had such success at a team that I don't really care. Minty got 52 points. Like, everyone just did their job this season, honestly. Well, the depth really came in clutch for us. Quick scroll down the list if you're curious. In net, that's defenseman. In net, Merzlikins had a 905. Ivankovic had a very good record and a 912 save percentage. So, yeah, he is definitely ready for the starting role next season, hopefully. First round of the playoffs, we'll be playing the Hurricanes. Start poorly, 2 straight losses, but we win the next 2 in Carolina to tie up the series. Game 5 at home, a 6-3 loss. Game 6 in Carolina, need to win this one to tie up the series. 3-0, we take the lead, and that game is over. Panarin is on the Hurricanes now. Interesting. Game 7 at home now. We've actually lost every home game and won every away game, so see if that stays. Panarin against his former team. And third period, we're tied up at 2. Early power play and Joshua Waugh, and he scores 2, and that will do it. Crazy third period there, and we take the Game 7 victory in round 1. Round 2 against our rivals, the Devils, who finished first in the Metro. They win Game 1 and 2. But we take both games at home, both winning them by 5 goals. Game 5, we lose in overtime to the Devils. Back home for Game 6. First period here, Devils up 1-0, tied at 1. Could be the final period of the season if we don't clutch up. Devils capitalize on a power play. Can we get that back? 10 minutes left. Come on, boys. Vezina winner Markstrom is absolutely shutting the door on us. Last few minutes. And, oh man. We lose in 6 games in round 2. That was still a good season, though. And remember, we made it almost to the conference finals with all of our core pieces being pretty young. So the player stats in the playoffs really quickly, just scroll through them. Lafreniere showed up, which is nice to see. You can see the rest of the team there. The scoring seems to be pretty good. The goaltending was good too, so I guess we just got unlucky in a few games. And the Oilers take the Stanley Cup. I think they won it last year as well. Hartford, our AHL team, actually won the Calder Cup, which is good to see. There's the draft lottery if you're curious. At this draft, I don't think we're going to even make our first round pick unless there is a medium elite guy available. Going to try and trade for some more young forwards because our core didn't really do much in the regular season. That playoffs gave me a little bit more hope, but I'm hoping to maybe get another top 6 forward. I did end up trading away the first round pick. In the second round, however, we picked up this 77 overall low elite. He should be a good player for us. I picked up another low elite later in the second round. And with my third pick in the second round, I picked up this 70 overall medium elite. He's 19 years old, but he should be a good player for us fairly soon. In the third round, I picked up another medium elite. Ekholm was already down to an 82 overall, so I decided to trade him to the Maple Leafs for this pick, which ended up being a medium elite goalie. With back-to-back picks in the fourth, we picked up a medium top 6 center and a medium elite goalie. Got a low elite center in the 5th round, and another low elite in the 6th round. Joshua Watt is our only real free agent we want to sign. He's not super interested in a good deal, so I'm ready to offer this contract to Joshua Watt. 3 years, 6.25. It's a little bit more than I was wanting to get, and I wish I could get him long term, but it seems like this will be the best we can get. And he does say yes to that deal. I'm also going to sign Adam Fox to this huge extension, 6 years, $11.5 million. Is actually a steal. Seems like he will accept this. It's got a no trade clause, so if we do need to trade him, we can trade him to a few teams. Also going to sign Capo Cacto to a 6-year extension, this time at a 5.25 for 6 years. I think that's a steal as well. I'm also going to try and lock up Porter Martone to an 8-year extension. And all of those players re-sign. I'm especially excited about Mr. Martone because that is a steal long-term, 4.225. So here's how the lines are looking at the start of year 5. We got Lafreniere, Byfield, Kakko. Byfield is up for an extension at the end of the year, but he actually isn't producing really well. He only had 63 points last year. I don't know if he's a first-line center, so I'm going to test it out this year, and if it's not doing the job for us, I may have to trade him for another first-line center. But anyways, the rest of the top 6 is looking good, and as I said, all of these players are still young. I think the bottom 6 is a lot better now too. Jackson Jacobson joining the team at 19 years old. Defense is looking elite yet again, and Ivankovic will be starting in net this year, so we'll see how he does with the starter's role. And there is the season. The Rangers end up finishing 2nd in the Metro, and again 5th in the entire league. Super solid season. At a record of 49, 27, and 6. We scored 3.5 goals per game, which was definitely up there in the upper echelon of the NHL. And 2.96 goals against, pretty solid as well in the top 10 or so. 20% power play, middle of the pack again. And then our penalty kill was middle of the pack again. Sitting at 83.1, so not too bad. For individual stats, Byfield stepped up in a big way, 77 points for the 91 overall. Big season from him. Lafreniere also had a good bounce back season from last year, going up from 55 to 75 points. Zegras as well puts up 72, a super solid season. Adam Fox, again, a super solid number 1 defenseman. Poitras, 62. Brent Clark, 58. Kakko was a bit slow, but other than that, I'm super solid with how this team performed this year. Scroll down the list if you're curious. In net, Ivankovic, a 905 save percentage, pretty solid. I'll honestly take that. Against Carolina in the first round of the playoffs, we dropped game 1 and 2 by a 6-2 score in each of them. Brutal start to the series. We thankfully win game 3, lose game 4 though, down 3-1 in the series already, not looking good. Here in game 5, need to win this one, and that was not a good period. 3 goals against. Can we come back, keep ourselves alive in the series, or will we be falling in the first round? And Jarvis scores. That's going to be it. And we bow out in 5 games in the playoffs. Took 2 steps forward last year, but 3 steps back. And we are eliminated in 5 games. That was just brutal. Scoring did not come through. And the goaltending kind of sucks, so not a good playoffs at all for a team that really should be taking that next step into true contending status. Hopefully we can get there with some growth from our players, but I'm ready to lock up Quinton Byfield at this deal here. 7 years at $11.1 million. Big deal for one of our key players, but I think he'll be worth it. He just showed a huge season, 77 points. And he says yes, so that is a great deal. 11.1, that's a lot of money to pay, but I think he has proven himself. And the playoffs are complete. The Oilers win the cup again. I think that's 3 straight. And the draft lottery looks like this, if you're curious. Here are the awards here. The Oilers complete their three-peat dynasty in Alberta. The President's Trophy went to the Devils this year, though. They were really good. It was the Oilers and the Panthers in the finals. Draisaitl won another Art Ross and the Hart. Evan Bouchard won 4 straight Norrises. Draisaitl wins the Lady Byng. Ovechkin actually wins the Calder for the Capitals. That's super cool to see. Draisaitl wins the Conn Smythe as well. Vezina goes to Ersson on the Devils. Interesting. Masterton goes to a Detroit player. Jack Adams goes to Vegas coach. Selke goes to Eriksson Ek. Well deserved. Ted Lindsay goes to Draisaitl. And Maurice Richard goes to Connor McDavid. Heading into the draft here, there's no real picks on the block, so I'm just going to sim to our pick at 25. And I'm going to pick up this low elite defenseman here, who is a 65 overall. In the second round, I picked up another low elite defenseman. Also picked up a high elite goalie here in the third. And another medium elite with our last third round pick. In the seventh round, we picked up this low elite. And finally, we also got this low elite. I'm also going to lock up Ivankovic to a 7-year deal worth under $5 million. That should be a steal, and he does accept right away. I'm also going to sign Schaefer onto an 8-year deal worth 6.15. Defensemen are at like 82 overall, already going for like $6 million, so that should be a steal. I realize we have too many forward spots on the team, so I'm going to trade away Watt and Tomasino, who I just signed over to the Red Wings for 2 prospects and a pick. And Schaefer accepts his contract as well. Alright, so here's how the lines are looking at going into year 6. The first line looking excellent. Jacobson and Martone will be playing on the second line. Hopefully they can grow in overall and hopefully get some X factors. Capo Caco, I'm going to have him here on the third line just because, yeah, he's an 87 overall, super solid player, but he's never been the biggest point producer. His career high is still just 58, and even though he is that 87 overall, I mean, we don't need him to be that star player because we have him locked down for pretty cheap. So he's going to play on the third line. With this guy, a second round pick, if you remember from a few years ago, he's made the NHL already. So good to see some of our drafted players like him, and also Grachev here, the 10th overall pick, he also made the team. So good to see some of our drafted players doing well. Defense is looking excellent as always. Mittikov's up to a 94 overall, Clark up to a 92. Schaefer hopefully grows a bit in that top 4 role. The bottom pair defense looks a little bit weak, but that's okay. In net, we have Ivankovic, who's at an 83 still. I'm hoping he grows a little bit after this season. Hopefully we can lead him to a President's Trophy or something, and then he can be a high overall. There we go, a 50-win season for the team, finishing second in the Metro, so close. Also finishing third in the league. Our goals per game at 3.6 was very good. Top of the league pretty much. 3.12 goals against was actually not very good. Middle of the pack roughly. We'd love to get that up in the postseason. Our power play of 23.8% was second, while our penalty kill of 80.9 was very close to the bottom of the league, actually. Not very good at all. One of the worst among playoff teams. So our defense wasn't very good this season, but our offense was very good. Byfield point per game season, that extension paying off already. Adam Fox, huge year from our number 1 defenseman. Lafreniere, Kako had a really big year considering he only played 14 minutes on ice per night, so I might have to up his ice time in the playoffs. Mintyukov also had an excellent season, 60 points, plus 30. Awesome for him. Zegras 61, Martone, down the list here. Love to see more from Jackson Jacobson in a top 6 role. He only put up 36 points, but pretty solid season all around. In net, 896% save percentage for Ivankovic, not good. I'm honestly not sure how this team got 50 wins, but you know, hopefully we can turn it on in the playoffs. Gonna extend Poitras to a pretty cheap deal here before the playoffs start. Playing the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round. They were in the President's Trophy race all season long. This is a very tough first matchup. We split the first 2 games, tied at 1. Game 3, we take a win, and in Game 4, we take a loss. Back and forth series here. Game 5, we take a win, and we also win in Game 6, and we advance to the second round, where we will be playing one of the best teams in the league over the past few years, the New Jersey Devils. We lose the first 2 games, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get back in it. Down 3-0 already. Oh my goodness. This team is just being shut down by the Devils. Game 4, let's see if we can get a win here, at least extend the series to beyond this. Pirzetta ties it up. Hardvidson gives them the lead. We are swept by the New Jersey Devils in round 2. I really need to see this team make a next step before I, leave the team, because our goal was to turn them into a cup contender, and I think we're really close. I think we definitely have the core in peace, but we just need to wait a few more years until everyone's really ready for playoff hockey, I guess. Devils go on to win the cup. Here's the draft lottery if you are curious. Alright, so I'm after the draft here, and I'm ready to make an absolutely huge deal. And that is for this Flyers players here, Artukinen. Now, he is a 90 overall medium elite sniper, a 2nd overall pick. And the reason I'm trading for him is we need a sniper in the top 6. It is clear no one really scores above 30 goals, so I think this guy will take our team to the next level. You can see he has a 5-star shot there. We do need to re-sign him to a deal, but that's fine. We'll be giving up Jackson Jacobson. I like him a lot. He's only 21, but I don't know if he really fits our squad because we have a lot of playmakers. I'm going to give up Honzek and these 2 prospects here, and that deal does go through, so that's a massive deal we just swung. In the 2nd round of the draft, we pick up this medium top 6 sniper who's already a 79 overall. Pick up a medium elite goalie in the 3rd, as well as a medium top 6 center and medium top 4 defenseman, another medium elite goalie in the 4th, and finally another low elite. Now this is a key re-sign phase because we have 2 of our biggest players, Artukinen and Lafreniere, both up for new deals. Artukinen is the priority, and I'm going to get him signed on to this 8-year deal worth 10.5. And he says yes to that deal, which means I think we will be letting Alexis Lafreniere walk to free agency. It's pretty unfortunate, but honestly, I don't think he really fits anymore. He only had 67 points last year. He's only had 1 year above 7 points when he really should be that every year since he's an 89 overall. It sucks, and I know he's going to be a great player other places, but you have to let him go. For the awards this season, the Devils won the Cup, the Blackhawks won the President's Trophy, and they ended the Oilers' run of reaching the Stanley Cup final as well, and it was New Jersey and the Blackhawks in the final. Connor Bedard steals the Art Ross Trophy from an Oiler finally. He also picks up the Hart Trophy. Bouchard wins a 5th straight Norris, which Marner gets the Lady Byng. Our guy, Pirzetta, actually got the Calder Trophy, so must have been a pretty weak class. Jack Hughes wins the Conn Smythe. The Vezina goes to Aiden Hale. Blomqvist gets the Jennings, though. A foot on Detroit wins the Masterton. Tanguay with the Sharks wins the Jack Adams. Selke goes to Beniers, Ted Lindsay to Bedard, and also Maurice Richard. Here's how the lines are looking, and hopefully this is the year we can go for the Cup. We got a great top line. Hopefully Artukinen can be that goal scorer for us with his 5-star shot. Kako, Poitras, and Martone. Pirzetta, Grachev grew to an 85. We got Sidor, another one of our draft picks, on the 4th line here. So I really like the forwards. Hopefully Martone can continue to grow into that role. On the defense, still looking elite as always. Mintyukov, Fox, Schaefer, Clark, bottom pair there. In goal, Ivankovic is still an 83. I still believe in him. I still think he's going to get there. And yeah, I genuinely think we have a good team here. And that is exactly what we're looking for. 122-point season, leading the Metro and leading the entire league. 58 wins, 18-6. Our goals per game at 3.94 was 2nd place. Goals against at 2.85 was in the bottom 4. Our power play of 23% was good, and our penalty kill of 83% is also good. In the top echelon of the NHL in pretty much every stat. Quinton Byfield led the team with 99 points. Zegras did well with 93 as well. And guess what? Artukinen did his job, putting up 47 goals in his first year with us. 79 points for Adam Fox, 68 for Mintyukov, and 67 for Clark. That's insane production from 3 defensemen. Kako 59, Poitras 59. Some good depth scoring here from all of these guys. That was an insane season. I'm so proud of this team. In net, Ivankovic puts up a 903. Okay, so he was definitely good enough to lead us to the President's Trophy. Maybe not the ideal goalie, but I still believe that he's going to grow into that role. Heading into the playoffs now, I am feeling unstoppable. We've got the Capitals in the first round. We win games 1 and 2, but drop game 3, pick up game 4 in Washington, and then at home for game 5. Take another loss, but in Washington we win 4-2 to close up the series in 6 games. And for probably like the 6th time now, we are facing the New Jersey Devils in the second round of the playoffs. Split the first 2 games of the series. We lose game 3 and game 4. No, not again. Oh, we're such playoff chokes. Game 5 here, must win the next 3 games. First period, 1-0. No, please. Not again. A 58 win team in the regular season. We've built a dominant team here. An amazing team. Denisenko back within 1. And the final minutes tick down. And we lose in the second round to the New Jersey Devils. How many times are we gonna lose in the second round? The offense was good, honestly. Everyone did pretty good. Goalies was bad. Okay, Ivankovic is the problem, I guess. But anyways, I think that's going to be done with the video here. We're 6 seasons into our rebuild, and we've already built an amazing team here. We got stars like Zegras, Byfield, Artukanen, Kakko, Portra. We've got a ton of young players. All of our core players are around that 27 to 30 years old, and even below with some of our younger players. We've built the most amazing defense core in the NHL with an amazing top 4. We've got hopefully this Ivankovic can finally grow into a starting goalie, but I think we've made a pretty amazing team here in New York. And we blew it up, man. We traded away Panarin, Trocheck, Zibanejad, Kreider, Shesterkin. Like, we blew it up. We started with nothing. We had Kakko, Lafreniere, and Fox. In fact, Kakko and Lafreniere are the only players left from the team we inherited. So we've built an amazing team here. I'm very proud. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you want to see more. Comment what team I should do next for the total rebuild. I'm thinking about making this into a series. Maybe I'll do like some other team that really sucks, like the Sabres. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, the Islanders. We'll see. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.